Okay, boys, I'm back. I want to talk to you guys about something. I've been seeing it everywhere on Twitter, on X, on Reddit, on comment sections, on TikTok. I want to finally put some ease to it as a tank main because there's not many tank mains on the internet who do this. There's a lot of DPS and healers, but tank mains is like maybe 1,000 of us, if even that. There are no tank life. Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to YouTube. What's going on? I'm Victor. I've been tanking for 10 years in Overwatch, tanking 2 years on Marvel Rivals, on off on World of Warcraft, and I'm now tanking on Garen. So if you're part of my community, my channel here, glad to have you. It's me, your favorite tank in the world, your tank man, Tank Victor. So today's topic, I've been thinking about it for a long time, is Overwatch has no mains. Nobody mains anything today on Overwatch. It's gone. That's a pipe dream. Doesn't happen. Overwatch 1 is a flex game. I'm sorry, Overwatch 2. They removed the 2 of the icon. I'm just looking dead at it. Overwatch 2 is a flex game. I'll give you a prime example of why mains don't exist and why today's audience or player base is flex players. For context, Overwatch 1 was 25 million hero mains, 25 million mains, and like 10,000 flex players. They were rare, but among us. The most people that played Overwatch 1 were a main of some kind. They diffed people on skill cap, not by who knew the best counter knowledge, because countering didn't really matter that much. It really truly was. If you main something, you could climb. I used Reinhardt, Pocket Mercy, my wife, the queen of my life IRL and in-game. She retired and quit in Overwatch 2 because she didn't support 5v5. She hasn't come back and she never will. But I stuck around. She and I went at Overwatch 1 from bronze to diamond. We peaked out pretty high, but we plummeted towards the end, and that's okay. Overwatch 2, I played Ramatra and I peaked out at Plat 2. Been plummeting since. Now, I'm going to give you a prime example. I'm going to use myself as an example. Back in the old Stone Age days of Overwatch 1, when Jeff Kaplan was still around, and they had Honcho, they had Barnacle, you know, they had Jellyfish. He had a map called Hanamura. Those of you oldies watching this video, Hanamura was the launch map for Honorable Dragons or something like that, the shorts that came out I think 9 years ago. That map is what launched the Shimada brother shorts that made 20 million views. It did great things. I was like, it's really beautiful. It's a beautiful map, still is. I'm still mad they got rid of it, but that's just me. Now, as a tank main and a Reinhardt main, that map taught me very key things. The first one was the first choke. Those of you who remember back in the day, there was that little doorway, then there was a little window in the top left, top right, was that little window. Now, that window was only accessible by flying heroes, mobile heroes, but no tank except for maybe, if you count the ball could get through that, or Diva or Winston. That's it. Most Reinhardt players, we learned from being a main of Reinhardt that choke was a nightmare. Because normally the enemy team would have Junkrat, Bastion, Torbjorn, and they didn't have to aim. They just had to blow up that little doorway because my big bulky body couldn't get through it in time. And they had enough DPS to melt my shield. The issue with Rein back in those days, and still is today, he's big, bulky, slow, not mobile, and he has a limited shield. He's a walking target on a map like that. Hanamura was a Reinhardt's nightmare, because if he charged off anywhere, remember back in those days you couldn't stop your charge. Once you charged off, you were committed. Where you landed is where you were. And that map was surrounded by ledges and high edges and points on flanks. So theoretically, when I got through the first choke, I would normally have a Zarya. So Zarya had 2 options. Bubble me, because back then she didn't have two bubbles, she had 1. So her options were bubble me, and we all go in, but Mercy has no bubble, and the second tank has no bubble herself. Or maybe the second DPS who's going to flank her Genji, because if Genji goes up, he needs bubble to fight the turret and to fight Torbjorn, which he doesn't have because he gave it to me. Now we get to the bell. That's also a 4K zone, 4 walls, that's Reinhardt, and once my shield went down, it was a sleep from Ana and Bastion melt. Or Torb ulted, or a wheel came at me from Junkrat, and that was it. What that taught me long term at that choke was as a Reinhardt main, I didn't have to go and counter as a Reinhardt main, I didn't have to go and counter Torbjorn or Junkrat. I just had to learn a higher skill level with Reinhardt. I taught myself to time my cooldown on my charge and where I was going and when I was going. So I finally achieved that, and Zarya had her bubble available for Genji or Mercy. So Mercy could fly in behind me and keep me alive while I was swinging on the point, or they would have the bubble on Genji and he could distract Torbjorn, and Zarya can focus the second DPS and I could focus the point. That worked beautifully. You could do that back in those days. It required teamwork, cooperation, and skill capping, raising your skill level with your main. Today, if you were to take Hanamura and go through the exact same situation, you can just go Mauga. You can just self-heal and run through it. You know, you don't need to. You can go Orisa. Orisa alone could get that point. You don't even need a second tank. You could do that with Doomfist. You know, it's all about counter watch. It's countering. And that magic that made Overwatch 1 truly team-based and having a main is gone, in my opinion. If I put a tinfoil hat on my head, they've taken away this magic. This magic has disappeared. It's not there no more. They've gotten to a point of like, I think from a marketing standpoint, the goal was to get people to not main something and not buy one skin, but jump around to different heroes and buy multiple skins from their shop. That's my theory. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but if I were looking at it from a business point of view, it would make more sense to make the game more flex than main, because flex players buy multiple skins. Main players, or a player base, buy one skin. Do you know I have only exclusive skins for Reinhardt, nobody else. Even though I main Ramatra now in Overwatch 2, I have some skins, but he's not someone I would go out of my way to buy extra skins for. Reinhardt is. So I'm an old dying player base, an old breed. It's just not for me. The new player base, you guys, as far as I'm concerned, you're a flex base. You're flex players. So main player base, we're exiting and leaving. And the new audience, you guys are very skilled heavy on flexing. But you don't have mains. Tell me in the comment section what you would main or what you main to this day. Think about the last 5 matches, 10 matches you did in competitive. Were you able to play your main? And did you climb? And did you have fun? That's the most important thing. Did you have fun playing your main? Or did you have to swap? Did you have to swap in order to get a win to climb through your rank? Think about it that way. You know, it's sad, in my opinion, because having a main was what made Overwatch truly unique than any other hero shooter. It made it different. Because right now, other games offer you the chance to truly connect with your hero. You could connect with your hero and you could ignore a toxic chat box because you were having a good time with your hero and the gameplay. Today, it's all about who's got the best counter knowledge. Marvel Rivals. I have a very, very deep connection to Thor. I don't have to play Magneto. I play him because he's a shield and I want to. But I've carried myself from Bronze 3 all the way to Plat 2 playing exclusively just Thor, my main. I've done that on stream here. I did a 7-hour stream. I went from Bronze 3 to Plat 2 in one single week. That was all it took me to do that. And I could do it by saying I'm a Lord Thor main. I was able to accomplish that maining Thor. I can still do that to this day. I'm still climbing to this day playing Magneto, my new main, next to Thor. Now, Overwatch doesn't have this anymore. This is long gone. And I think I saw something interesting about Overwatch taking steps to bring back 6v6. A lot of my old tank players that I know, that my friends that I used to play with, my old Roadhog buddies, my off tanks, Roadhog Zaryas, they're at Marvel Rivals. We still talk and hang out and connect every now and again, but I'm not streaming. But they're at Rivals. And I've met a lot of tanks at Rivals who now main DPS and something else, but they're from Overwatch. They're tanks who move to Rivals. This says something about pleasure over nostalgia. Overwatch 2 only does really, really well because the Overwatch label is on it. If the Overwatch label was not on that game, people would have migrated way over to Marvel Rivals. And I don't mean that in a very malicious way. I mean it in a very competitive way. It should give Overwatch something to compete against, to bring back the things that made it special. I would love for you guys to experience Overwatch 1 and have a main. I would love to know what new mains are. I would love to see someone say, I'm a Juno main, a Kiriko main, a Ramatra main, whatever it is, or I'm a Ventura main, Sojourn main, and I went from bronze to diamond, playing just my main. I only had to up my skill cap. I had to skill diff everybody else, and I had to use maps to my advantage and disadvantage. But today, if you go into any other match, like 9% of the time, the average playtime is just counter watch. It's just countering. So that's my theory for today. My theory is Overwatch has no mains. We're a flex player, not we. I'm retiring and exiting. your old tank main here. I'm on my way out. I'm leaving this. I'm exiting this door and going into a new one. I'm entering the door of Marvel Rivals. I tank there now. I still tank on Overwatch, just casually in competitive, but it's not really worth the grind to me to do 5 ranks countering. It's extremely, first of all, it's very tenuous, and the player base is not really great towards tank players right now, and I want to get into it. That's its own little tic-tac of a bomb to go off on a video, but in general, I would say mains don't exist. It's a theory. Mains don't. Overwatch doesn't have mains. You guys are all a flex player base. Mains are retiring. We're old. We're outdated. We're the 1950s of suits and cars and whatever it is, and you guys are the modern, the 80s, 90s, cool stuff. Come in, neon lights, neon this, constantly changing. You guys can do all of it. Like, I've met impressive tanks, man. I've met impressive tanks today on enemy teams who can play multiple different tanks. I can play I can play all of them. I can play all of them to a plat to diamondish level. I just choose not to play some of them because I just don't like the kit. And I don't like counter watching. Like, I've had matches where I have to go Zarya to kill or like an Orisa, because Reinhardt can't cut the job. He can't do it. Mauga could theoretically do it, but even then, Mauga and Ramatra, Zarya, they're so meta. Different topic, but that's the video for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a wonderful, oh, by the way, don't forget to join our Discord. Come hang out, love to have you. And the Victim Modus 2, the IRL channel. That's where all my internet nonsense is and all the other IRL content. See you guys in the next one.